myself again.
Good evening and welcome to NUFC Matters with me, Steve Wraith. This is a monumental show because the Dream Team series, which we have done over the last 12 months, has never been done live. So this is our very first Dream Team live. And I thought, what better and who better to do the Dream Team live, but with our Saudi correspondent, Alwaleed. Now, he's got a new hairstyle there, which won't have gone unnoticed to many of our regular viewers. And he's now calling himself Alwaleed Gaza.
Oh, Saudi Gaza, yes. Hi,
Saudi Gaza.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Saudi Gaza. Great to have you on, Alwaleed. Anyway, and as people will know who watch our regular watchers of the show, Alwaleed is going to pick his favourite Newcastle United 11 of all time. He's going to pick his substitutes, and he's also going to pick his manager. So, Alwaleed, the floor is yours. Over to you. Who is going to start in goal for you?
Okay. I want to say at the beginning that when I am younger, usually you care about the front line. You didn't watch for example, the goalkeeper. So I noticed a lot saying Shy Given, and I bet he's the best. But for me, I didn't remember watching him much. So what I watched lately is Darlow and Dubravka. And personally, I prefer Darlow. Maybe this will upset some of the fans, or maybe all the Newcastle fans. But I see Darlow actually in bad position of Newcastle during the last season. At beginning, first half of the last season was difficult season for Newcastle, and I watch this goalkeeper closely. I like it. Sometimes it should be the best to be the first, but for me, Darlow, he been in such tough situation with such tough, difficult, and not very great manager, Steve Bruce, and not such a great defense, but he was there for us. And I remember my defense, and if you go watch On Match Day Live with Steve Wraith, we pick him best player or man of the match many times.
Interesting choice, Alwaleed, because obviously from our perspective, we a lot of the teams I think have been picked have all between certain goalkeepers such as Pavel Srnicek. Shay Given has been a very, very popular goalkeeper amongst everybody, but it's an interesting way to do it. And going for a goalkeeper, a modern goalkeeper, I think is quite a brave choice. But I completely understand it. Likewise, when Holly did her, when Holly picked her team, there was always going to be some surprises in there. And I guess as well, just a couple of things with regards to how long you've actually followed Newcastle, or how young or how old you are. So there's loads of different people would pick loads of different people. So it's nice for me to see somebody pick one of the modern day keepers. So great stuff. Carl Darlow's in the team. So you said go on.
I just want to add, when you are young, or you focus on, or you're interesting about the frontline player, not the one in defense and goalkeeping. But when you are mature and become more expert, you can notice the difference. You can focus on the right back, left back, etc., all positions.
Yeah, I agree. Now, you did say something interesting at the top of the program. You said that you like to concentrate on the forward players. You don't tend to think about the players at the back. Now, that is interesting. So that
when I was young,
that might be a little point. That might be a little point at your formation today. So give us the news on your formation.
4-3-3.
4-3-3. Interesting. Okay. So who is at the right of your four?
Okay, my right, Warren Barton. Warren, because for many reasons. I remember I watched him in the match day live, not live, when we play Manchester United game, the glory Alan Shearer game, 5-0, 5-0. I remember he played very good, and I always hear his name. He's one of the best player in Newcastle. So this is why the reason I picked the right back. Beside the same thing I said, that I wasn't watching closely, especially the back line.
Yeah, I mean he's a hell of a player back in the day, but he's quite an ambassador now for the club, isn't he? When you listen to him speak about Newcastle, Alwaleed.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a great speaker and so modest. Great personality, though.
Yeah, great personality. I mean, the haircut as well. I mean, I know you're somebody who likes to look at haircuts and sometimes copy them. I mean, is that a potential for you, Alwaleed, in the future, growing your hair and getting some centre parting?
Actually, this is the best I have. But I this hair, and I promise that I remember when I host Steve Hasty at Euro final, we promised together that I will paint my hair blonde as you know, as like English or Newcastle way, like Gaza as well, white blondie thing. And also I remember Steve Hasty promised something, but let's see if he will keep a promise or not.
Good stuff. Okay, so we've got your right back and your goalkeeper sorted out. Let's look at your first centre half. Who is your first centre half in your back four?
Yeah, I would say David Batty as well, but as I said, I didn't see much time game for him. Maybe I saw one game only for him, so this is not count. Yani can't be count. But I remember Woodgate. Woodgate, I saw him actually play in Real Madrid. Also see him play in, and he was great, but he didn't play much. Maybe a few games, but he was a great defender. He played great for Newcastle. And as I recall, Middlesbrough, if I'm not mistaken, he's really solid defender. I love the player who have static performance and less mistakes.
It's funny because Woodgate didn't really play many games at Newcastle United, but he has creeped up in quite a few people's team selections in the Dream Team programme. And I think it's because he was, following on from quite a few poor centre halves at Newcastle. So he did stand out, and he was very impressive on the ball. He didn't panic. He always knew how to pick a pass. And that was something we've never really seen, a centre half do at Newcastle.
And playing for Real Madrid, this is extra thing in his CV. And Real Madrid, not true, and they are very great in choosing players. Maybe he have some flaws, but and he's a standard CV. I can call him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's in a lot of people's teams, and rightly so. Okay, so who have you got as the other centre half in your back four?
Okay, the Colicini. For some reasons, he's of course I see him play some games as well. He's Italian. They are master of defense. Everybody, I think, is clear on this. And I remember when I was promoting my show at the beginning, if my regular remember, I put some hair and I said, seeing that I'm a new player from Saudi Arabia for fun. So a lot of fans call me Colicini, Colicini, Colicini. I didn't recall that the name, but when I see the picture, I recall him, and really he's a great defender.
Yeah, he was somebody who didn't settle in at the start. I remember, people were over the moon because it was in those early days of Mike Ashley, and they thought he was going to spend lots of money, but he certainly took to the Premier League, and he did well.
Yes, and I also he went to, I think, AC Milan, but he didn't play any game. Yani he's not that great defender in Italy, but Italy, they are great defenders. So يعني he have a chance there, but I think as you said, Steve, no much. يعني they are, maybe we count by fingers the player of the great defender in Newcastle.
I think the thing is with Colicini that he made a name for himself after a poor start. Newcastle were relegated. He stayed around, which was always something that fans looked at as a sign of loyalty. And he got Newcastle United back into the Premier League. I think the only, what we would say in England, blot on his copybook was that it was rumoured and alleged that he was one of a few players who, when it came to playing in the FA Cup one season, he refused to play because he didn't value the competition. And I think that if that was true, I think that was a bit naughty. As a football player, he should never have done that. And the FA Cup should really have been treated with the respect that it deserves, because it's a fantastic competition. So unbelievable that he
and
did
he's
that.
popular. So he's so popular. He's so popular as well.
Well, he had a good song. Not that I'll repeat on here, but he did have a good song. Kenny says, does Alwaleed know that this is like the dream team and you only have so much to spend, or is he playing the after takeover version? I think you're playing the after takeover version, aren't you, Alwaleed?
No, I think in future we will have the greatest Newcastle team. I promise that.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, you've got one more player to jump into your back four. So who is there?
Left back. For me, I admire left back because I am left back by days, and I always do great there. My hero was Roberto Carlos, but usually I like players in the left back like Ashley Cole, Patrick Evra, Marcelo. These great players. But the one who played Newcastle, maybe when he played Newcastle, he wasn't that good. But I'm choosing him upon his performance in World Cup and Champions League final. Danny Rose. I know a lot of fans will hate me now, but unfortunately, maybe he have some issues personally. He had fight with Mourinho. I think he's in, if I'm not mistaken, Watford. He get weights, but when at his best, he was really standard, great left back. He did great games with England as well in World Cup, but in Newcastle, he wasn't ready, and even the team wasn't that solid, so it can help him. So either the team couldn't help him, and he couldn't help the team.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I told people when we advertised this that we did have one or two controversial signings, but some people agree, some people don't. Danny Rose wants left back in Geggs. I think you mean Greg's, Chris, but I got your point. Pistoni says Shredder. But yeah, it's all opinions. That's what makes this program interesting.
Yeah, but the point I am not calling many left back. So attack me as you like in the back line. But when we go now a little bit forward, I am sure what I'm choosing.
Oh, I think people will be very excited when they see what you've got in your midfield. So you've got three in midfield. Who's the first one?
Okay, Saint Maximin, because I saw this player. He's so skillful. He make a huge record in dribbling among Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. I remember he was the 5th in dribbling. Really skillful, but unfortunately he wasn't under great manager. And if he has, he will be one of the top player in the world, I believe. And we see how he saved us many times. And maybe I quote maybe Dwight Gale when he said, "Our savior is back," when he had such a problem last year when he went up to France. But I think he's really saved us a lot since I watch close games and repeated games for Newcastle. And I believe he deserves. Upon this is the time I watched too many games in last 3 years.
What would you say is ASM's best position, Alwaleed?
That's a great question. Actually, I can say he's good on the left winger, because he like to make his foot inside, and he can trick the players. And I would like to give him, and if I have him, I will not give him much defense roles, because this player is a winner. He make almost impossible goals. I saw Burnley. He scored against Burnley last year, home and away. Brilliant goal. I think one of the best goals in the Premier League. He was the whole and for Steve Bruce, and he should thank his God that he saved him many times, because he was mashallah, and he was a total front line by himself.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I wish there is some things I expect if he have a great manager, he will help. He need and I noticed lately, to be fair with Steve Bruce, I noticed lately he trying not to hold the ball too much to avoid injury and to fasten the game. He need to pass. He need to pass, not just hold the ball for himself, and he need to find maybe Al Mayroon to have better chemistry there or better cooperation in the playing, because he's at a little bit playing separately. But I think lately he's become better, and he will come much better with a great coach.
I certainly think that there's been an improvement in ASM, and he does certainly get the fans out of his seats, out of their seats. So he's definitely the go-to player for excitement, and hopefully with new ownership now, that will be the kind of player that the new manager, whoever that is, and whenever that is, will look at ASM and try and build a team around him. That would be good, Alwaleed.
Exactly. So he's number one player in Newcastle, and he loves the fans. He loves the city. You can see there is passion in his play, and when he scores, and he would like to score goals, because when he celebrates, I think we all, it's everybody in the stadium, everybody is happy. So he really care for the fans, and he doing his best. Okay, of course there is mistakes, but it should be getting better with as well with a great coach who can and also let's give him another slack for Saint Maximin, because he sometimes playing alone, and he put only 3 players most of the games, Wilson and Almayron. And I think one of the reason of the repeated injury, is the way of play of Steve Bruce. So with different style of play, they will play much better.
Yeah, well, certainly an interesting choice, and a one that a lot of people agree with, and great again to see another one of the modern day players actually make it into your dream team. Okay, you've got another midfield player to name now. Who's next?
Okay, next is Gaza. There is a story in Gaza. Actually, when I was young, there was no much TV there is no airing for the games. So I remember, before, when I was I'm talking about when I was maybe about 10 years old, in the cornflakes or some biscuit or some chips, when you especially around World Cup or Euros, when you have a card, they said this product have player card collection. So I always have, I have sometimes Ball Jazz Queen. But for me, I never see him play that time. So Ball Jazz Queen. And when I read a newspaper, that was our TV in newspaper. We didn't watch. There is no YouTube, no no BN, no sport, no Sky, just in the newspaper. So I always read his name. And lately, when TV came, everything, khalas, he's retired. So I didn't much have maybe some games in World Cup and videos on YouTube. So that's one thing. Also, I read that he's much more like maybe Wayne Rooney, and Wayne Rooney was a great player. And maybe, of course, Jesse Queen better. And I noticed before I was reading articles of a player. Choose a player you like. He said Paul Jesse Queen. So we're done with all the story. So when I start to doing the show, I start the I'm coming home, Newcastle, that song. So in the lyrics, there is Gaza as well in the song, that I am from the place from Gaza. So they mention Gaza in the lyrics in the I'm coming home, Newcastle song. So this is another boy. Also, when Phil Foden drank his hair in Euros, like Gaza. So all this make you feel, and especially some few clips I watch in YouTube, this is his, and it must be a legend. And his name was in my head before I never maybe saw any game of my life. I always bought Jesse Queen before in the newspaper or in the player collection cards. So this is why I like him. Beside all Newcastle fans, I saw some tweets like when I see Phillips and from Arsenal, Ian Wright with Gaza. So he always on the hope.
Great stuff. Exciting team. You said when it got to the forward players, it would be exciting. A big shout out to our sponsors, Spider VPN. For all your internet security, please Google Spider VPN, and they are the boys to trust. They can help protect your computer, your passwords, your photographs, everything. So please Google Spider VPN today. Thanks to skipsandbins.com, telephone 0800 25 45 25 3, email inquiries at skipsandbins.com, and website www.skipsandbins.com. Easy contract free and pay-as-you-go waste collection. Also, a big shout out to another sponsor, L&G Family Funeral Directors, 0191 389 7245, and another one of our main sponsors, been here from the very beginning, John at qtechshop.co.uk, the makers of pool tables and snooker tables in Wallsend in Newcastle. And also thank you to Jab Signature as well for making all of our flyers. If you're a first-time visitor to the channel, please subscribe. It's dead easy. Hit the Newcastle Legends logo in the bottom right-hand corner. That's it. You subscribe for free. Costs you absolutely nothing. Hit the thumb up to like the video. That's just underneath there. Click share to share to your other social media, such as Twitter, Facebook, etc. And drop into the comments box to speak to like-minded Newcastle fans or to post a comment on the screen. We're also available as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast providers. And we also have a website, which is called NUFCmatters.com. And you can buy cups, anything on there, tops, T-shirts, you name it, all at NUFCmatters.com. And one of my particular favourites is the Ryan Taylor shirt, the over-the-wall shirt. You can get that on there. But take a look on the website. Well worth a look. Also, we have a few events coming up over the next month or so. We have an event, all of the events are at the Irish Centre, the Tyneside Irish Centre in Newcastle, just down from St James's Park. An evening with Gavin Peacock, Friday the 29th of October. And that's £15 entry for that particular show. And Gavin will be launching his book that night. We also have an evening with Supermac and Gibbo. That is our Christmas night from 2020. Finally, we're going to have our get-together, and that will be at the Irish Centre. Tickets for that are £12. All proceeds go to the food bank. And last but by no means least, an evening with Peter Beardsley takes place Friday, November the 26th. And that is with Peter and John Gibson. Tickets for all of these events are available from newcastlelegends.com, and you just need to click shop on the website and you can buy your tickets there. A couple of other events coming up. A night with Rob Lee, which is the 28th of October. Tickets for that one, £15. They start at £15, and that is in the Laurels, Whitley. And you can get that tickets from www.laurelswhitley.co.uk. Another food bank event as well. Thursday the 9th of December with Supermac, Bobix.com. You get along to see Supermac, and again, all proceeds go to the food bank. If you want to make a donation to the food bank, visit nufcfansfoodbank.co.uk, and you can make a virtual deposit in there, and you can still enter the raffle for that watch, which will be drawn once the pool competition is announced. And just a quick plug for Peter Beardsley Soccer School, Monday the 25th to Friday the 29th of October, 10 till 4 each day, Kingston Park, Newcastle, £15 a day or £60 for the full week. All coaches are FA qualified and DBS checked. If you're interested in getting your kids involved, pbsoccerschools@hotmail.com. That is pbsoccerschools@hotmail.com. Get yourself involved in that. It would be great at half term. A couple of books as well. My Every Boy's Dream is available on Amazon if you want to buy that for somebody for Christmas. Recollections over 37 years of supporting Newcastle. I enjoyed writing that. Some interesting stories in there. And I've also got a book which we've done for the food bank, a kids book written by me, drawings by Alfie Joey from Radio Newcastle, The Ghost That Could Not Scare. Copies of that which have been purchased will be posted out this week. That is £12 for the book, ideal for Halloween. And Peter Beardsley is on at the Tyne Theatre next year. If you're looking at buying somebody a Christmas present, you could maybe do that. Voucher and Groupon, that event is publicised quite heavily on there, and you can get your tickets for VIP or standard on Groupon or Voucher. Ideal Christmas present for people. Okay, that's all the adverts for tonight. Back to the team, and we're in Alwaleed's midfield area now. So he's got one more player to pick. Who is it?
It's Janela, because I remember when we actually first time I recall him when we watched the game against Manchester United, the 5-0. He scored hell of a goal, and after that, on Twitter also or YouTube, I become he's so popular in Newcastle. Always have a even Newcastle official account on Twitter. They always say, in this day Ginola did this, in this day Ginola did that. So it's also among the fans on Twitter, and the count the goals. And when I watch him play, I like the players who have special style in a play. He's like for me, I can say like he's like Iniesta. He have some way for play, not copy based. He have his unique style for play. I like usually these players. This is one of the reasons I choose Ginola.
Yeah, David Ginola certainly made an impression. He was only here a couple of years. I think people forget that. But when he came to Newcastle, he had a lot of female admirers, Alwaleed, as well as a lot of male admirers. They were watching the football. They loved his dashing looks, I think, and his long flowing hair. But he was, he was one of the first French players that I can remember making such an impression. And he really, really just, it probably coins it when you listen to the other players who played with him. I think we had a player at the time called Scott Sellers who was at Newcastle. He was playing on the left-hand side. And it was, the par for the course in training when a new player arrived, that the old players would kick a ball at the person and try to catch them off guard. And this is what happened when Ginola came. He was walking across to the pitch, and John Beresford just hit a ball quickly at Ginola, and he just spun, turned, took the ball in his instep and took it down. And apparently Scott Sellers turned to him and just said, "That's me gone." So, he just knew that he was, there was a better player coming in. And that was in those great days when, Kevin Keegan and John Hall were working together, and you just knew that they were always looking to better the team. And that's ultimately, what we hope for with this takeover that we've had now, But Donald mentions the goal versus Ferencvaros. It's always hard to pick a goal that stands out the best, but that one was probably his best. I mean, the one against Manchester United was good, but that one was a really good goal in the European competition, the Champions League.
Yeah, see, as you describe the player, he's a style. He's different style, and this is a player I would like to have it in my dream team for Newcastle.
Yeah, great stuff then. We've got a 4-3-3 so far, and we've got our back four, got our goalkeeper, we've got our three in the middle. So this is always interesting. Who are you going for in your front three? Give us one, Alwaleed.
Okay, for me, that was easy. I think the three in front, it was very easy for me. Didn't take much time of a think. First one, Tino Esprilla, because same Jesse Queen story. I always see him in the card. The Colombian player, Esprilla, one of the best player in the world. I remember in the cards, Esprilla. This name come to me when I was young, just in paper. I never saw him. I don't know, only that he's a great and Colombian. So also when I see this throwback games, and especially against Barcelona, the 3 goals against Barcelona, you must put this player. You can't think of someone else to choose in one of these 3 positions. So great player as Gino Sprella. Beside his funny character he has.
And his funny dress sense as well. Disney shirts and ties and God knows what. Yeah, I mean, great player. I mean, we all remember him, obviously, for the hat-trick that he scored against Barcelona. I think as well, probably a lot of us remember him from his debut at Middlesbrough when, he literally flew into Newcastle. It was snowing really heavily and he had that big coat on and people were like, who on earth is this guy? There was rumours of him being arrested for having guns and, with him being Colombian, there was lots of stories about him enjoying the social life rather than football. But he came in and he made a big impression. And I know a lot of people do point the finger at Tino coming into the team and, unbalancing it. And that was the reason we didn't win the league. But I've always disagreed with that. I always feel that potentially, dropping Lee Clark from the team was probably one of the reasons. And just putting square pegs in round holes, which, you didn't often see Kevin Keegan do, but moving Peter Beardsley position and taking Lee Clark out. And, there was a lot of other things. And I think, collectively, when you speak to the players, they tend to think that it was all down to, just not having won the league before. And they choked, psychologically they choked. And Manchester United had the experience of winning trophies and the players had all won trophies before and that carried them on. And for me, really, without doing Newcastle players any discredit, because they certainly didn't deserve it that year, Cantona made the difference. And it was often 1-0 Cantona. And that really was the story of that season. But Tino Asprilla, great player. Great to see him in there. 2 more players to pick in your 11. 2 more attacking options. Who's your next one, Alwaleed?
Of course, Big L, Alan Shearer. He's the first player, Home of Fame on Premier League walls. He chose him and with Thierry Henry, top scorer in Premier League, more than 260 goal. Amazing player, and I remember when he played against Juventus in in Champions League. I don't recall the coach actually name, but the name asked Trezeguet and maybe Salas. I remember, or Salas maybe asked the great players to study his moves and learn from him. And this is a strong message to tell a great player like Trezeguet that go try and study from Alan Shearer. I remember this. And he was a leader, not just a striker. He reminded me of Samuel Jabir, Saudi Arabia player, my favorite in attacking. They have both same factor. When you see him in the field, you feel that you are gonna win. You don't feel ever from loss. I think this is a play on Alan Shearer. So. And this is one of the, I think, first reason that most of the Arab and Saudi support Newcastle in first place.
Yeah, Alan Shearer, certainly a man who made an impression, not just in the UK, but worldwide. And, goals win games, and he scored plenty of them. And, a legend in these parts. And no surprise to hear that he made such a big an impression in Saudi with you. Okay, your last player in the 11 then.
Last player, okay. I had 2 choices. Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan and Malcolm McDonald, Super Mac. So I chose, and they are great players, but I chose Super Mac for reason I will say now, and I put Mr. Kevin Keegan in the substitution. Okay, of course, all what I've been hear about in last years is Super Mac. I always see the photos, the videos of his goals, black and white, and the most of also one reason that I always watch him with Gibo in your show, and I listen to his story. So excited. I really love the player, and I'm honored that I will host him in my show. First time in Arabic show in my show tomorrow. legend Supermac.
Yeah, absolute legend, Malcolm. And, looking forward to seeing him as always at the weekend. Love seeing him before the games. And of course, Thursday night, tune in. Me and Gibbo and Malcolm will be on. So that completes the 11. Let's get onto the bench now. Always gives people an opportunity to at least give a little bit of credit to some of those other players. So who's your goalkeeper?
Dubravka, because he's maybe he's better than Darlow, maybe. And no, I'm sure. But Dubravka, let's say Dubravka, he's about 33 years old, and Dubravka is still young. I think he's 24. So there is a huge difference in age regarding a goalkeeper. He's experienced goalkeeper, also save us. And as I said, I didn't watch many goalkeepers, or didn't take my attention goalkeepers from Newcastle. But Dubravka really also I used to I liked doing the statistic, and I remember when I do statistic for some of my shows, we receive a lot of attacking, a lot of shots on targets, and number one was in the statistic was Dubravka. So that means he saved us from a lot of goals. He really deserved to be in the team.
Yeah, again, another good goalkeeper, and goes with your age and the time that you supported. So no surprise to see you go for two modern day goalkeepers. Okay, next on your bench.
Next, okay, let's start with Andy Cole. Andy Cole, I remember him in my. He's amazing. I remember him with Manchester United in the Champions League. He was a great player. Andy Goal, they call him Andy Goal. Amazing player, really. He's so skillful. Have a lot of goals. He's just a goal scorer, and he's really great partnership with Alan Shearer, and really he's also one of the players. When you see him on the field, you feel relaxed. You feel that you will get goals in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Cole was at Newcastle, and of course, there was a lot of controversy when Kevin Keegan sold him. He went out onto the steps, he spoke to the supporters, and that was just a strange day. It was, I always remember it. And we saw one of our biggest rivals, Manchester United. Keith Gillespie came in the other direction, but then ultimately Newcastle moved on, signed Les Ferdinand, signed Alan Shearer, and the rest is history. But I always liked Andy Cole. I mean, I was there the day that he broke Hughie Gallagher's record. 41 goals, I think he scored in a season. And that really is probably, with the exception of Alan Shearer's testimonial, the loudest cheer I have ever heard at St James's Park, because the build-up to anybody breaking a goal-scoring record is always huge. And I think I was there when Shearer broke Milburn's record. I was there when Shearer, scored his, the one that broke the ultimate record. I was there when he scored his last goal against Sunderland before he retired, and before he was injured and then had to retire. I've been lucky to be at a lot of these big games, but the roar when Andy Cole scored, I'll never forget that. It literally, it was ear piercing. There's no doubt about it. But great to see him involved. I know that some fans, can never forgive him for being on the pitch and singing anti-Kevin Keegan songs. But the time he was here, fantastic memories. Okay, next sub, please, Alwaleed.
Next sub is Kevin Keegan, because actually he's great player, and one of the greatest in Newcastle and England. Unfortunately, I didn't see him much play. Also, lately, maybe on Twitter, I always hear the coaching thing that he coached Newcastle. Most of the fans, I believe, from my little reading, that they prefer him as a player, not much as a coach. Some great players have this as well. But I remember also when I was young, I was reading some book about great players, and I remember being called by the giant. In Arabic translation, it was giant. maybe Mouse or something like that. I'm not sure.
Was he Mighty Mouse? Was that his nickname?
Yeah, Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
remember
in
that.
Arabic, yeah, in Arabic they call him different. So I didn't hear it in English, but yeah, that's the one. So Kevin Keegan, and no need to explain why he's in the dream team.
Definitely not. And I mean, I guess, if when we do find out who your manager is, if his manager left, he could always step in and do a player manager's job as well. So good selection. Good selection. Okay, who's your next substitute?
Okay, next one is okay. We reached to Cisse. Cisse, because Cisse really, for me, I like the player when maybe I caught his prime. Difficult, great goals he scored for Newcastle. Also, as I said with Ginola, he have this different style in the play.
Scored some fantastic goals. And I mean, I remember him arriving and I wasn't 100% sure what he was going to be like, but I remember his debut goal, which I think was at the Gallagher end. And he just hit an absolute blammer, as we would call around here. And it was a brilliant goal. But of course, everybody remembers for the goals at Chelsea. Out of this world, goal of the season, and still shown to this day on UK TV. He just had the ability, really, to score goals out of nothing, Alwaleed.
Exactly, he's have different style. That means he's skillful, and he have the sense. He's the real, what they call real footballer. He doesn't have too much to do to score a goal.
Yeah,
just fantastic.
He is, yeah. He deserved the number 9 shirt, and it was an exciting period. And I think when Demba Ba arrived, I think a lot of people felt they couldn't play together, but they did okay, didn't they?
Maybe separately, but I didn't recall seeing them together. But also Demba is also a great player.
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah. Okay, Cisse, another attacking option there. Who else is on your bench? You've got one more substitute, I believe.
One more, yeah.
It's another attacking option.
Yeah, because I am attacking, not like Steve Bruce. Actually, Hatem Ben Arafah, he's an Arabic player, and he's one of the rare Arabic players who succeed in Premier League. Skillful, but unfortunately he left because I think, of course, maybe Mike Ashley budgets, etc., etc. But he's a great player, and I'm sure he's beloved in Newcastle. And I remember his goal from even far from the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, again, a maverick, wasn't he? Another player who ultimately, just got the crowd out of their seats. He was one of those people who got the ball and just ran at defenders, and defenders didn't really know what to do, how to deal with him. Sometimes he would end up running down blind alleys, and he wouldn't, his attack would come to nothing. But fans will forgive that if there's a goal the next time. And he's just one of those players who ultimately excited supporters. And as you say, I mean, that, one of those goals he scored it stands out. It's I think it was it Bolton at home, I think it was, and it was an absolutely brilliant piece of skill.
Of course, yeah, I remember. I think, yeah, I guess Bolton, and he's also the same what you said. This skillful player. He have no much time to think.
Was it Blackburn? Blackburn or Bolton? I'm not sure. I'll have to check. But it was a great goal. Somebody in the chat might tell us as well. But
I think Bolton, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, brilliant bit of skill. Great goal.
Skill.
And yeah, skill, 100%. Okay, what a team that is, Alwaleed. And a lot of people in the chat can't believe that you've just gone for it, really. Okay, who's your manager?
Of course, Rafa Benitez. For many reasons, he's like a great personality. Players loves him, and I can't tell he's the, when you see him looking at you or talking or giving instruction, he gives you confidence. I can see this with every team he's been coached. And for me, actually, I start admiring him at final game against against Milan, 2005 Istanbul final. He played against Milan, and Milan was the best team in the world. He was so calm after defeated in first half 3-0. And I remember also, it was a great night. And in the penalties, he sit on the floor. It's like yoga sitting. It was night to remember. I still I still remember that night like yesterday. He really that time he really confirmed that he's one of the top class coaching there. Also, he have not such great players as well. They have Girard, maybe Barosh, I think Peter Crouch, Smitchers. I remember, So and the other player was comparing to quality of AC Milan, huge difference. But this is good coaching. When you have little material, you do great. This is one example. Second example, when we see player like Atsu, some player, even Steve Bruce didn't think they deserve to play even 1 minute. But with Rafa Benitez, he made the championship, and he did great and reached the team to far in the mid-table. So he's for me, he's really great coach. And I remember lately in BN Sport, I watched some interview with Jimmy Carragher. No, sorry, Gary Neville hosting Gerrard. They talking about Manchester and the Liverpool games. They sit for one. It was a brilliant show. They were sitting for 1 hour, and Gerrard was describing Rafa. It was really interesting. He said I was intimidated a little bit by him. He always, imagine this, Steven Gerrard says, this is the coach who make me much better. And he said, when I do great, sometimes he call me and give me more instruction. He said at the beginning, I feel a little bit, I remember he said, maybe, when a player sometimes, younger players do great, he expect the good words and a lot of encouragement. But when he, some criticism from after good performance, some players, younger players, they become angry, or they feel that why he should complete me, and that's it. He shouldn't give me my mistake or whatever. But he said that's make me a great player, and we all see what Steven Gerrard did in 2000 final against Milan.
Great stuff. Just going to recap your team. Rafa Benitez, of course, managing 4-3-3. Darlow in goal. Back four was Rose, Colaccini, Woodgate, Warren Barton. Then the three in the midfield, ASM, Ginola and Gaza. And up front, in their front three, Alan Shearer, Supermac and Tino Asprilla. And on the bench, Kevin Keegan, Andy Cole, Ben Arthur, Cisse and Dubravka. Great lineup, and always exciting to hear different people's views. But Saudi Gaza Alwaleed hasn't let us down there. He's gone for a very attacking formation. I've just got to ask you, Alwaleed, before we finish. I mean, how does a young guy in Saudi, surrounded, I guess, by Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea fans, suddenly support Newcastle? What attracted you to our great club?
Okay. First of all, I said that we are fan of Premier League since we are young, and we will read about it, and we didn't see it. And when they start to airing the games, they starting the Champions League. They didn't, and it was. This is very important because it's generation matter. It's not about we like this team for any reason. It was generation matter. So when they start the games, unfortunately for Newcastle, when they start airing games in Middle East and Saudi Arabia, I remember it was NBC channel. They were at 2000. They start airing games. So we didn't catch the great Newcastle in 97. So we maybe just agility program, some programs, and that's it. We didn't have channel to watch the teams. maybe become later we saw in the YouTube and stuff. But it was generation thing. It's about when what time they airing the TV. Not maybe before. I mean, continuously playing the games. But before they have some Euro, some maybe some final of Champions League, maybe once a year. Can't be catched easily, and not any channel. So this is the thing why we are surrounding with this with the big six teams. For Alan Shearer, for Newcastle, for me, I said earlier, 1998 we play against Saudi, play against England, friendly game. I remember Tony Adams, I believe, was the captain. We did great. Saudi Arabia was excited, did a great game. Also, Alan Shearer, he was great in playing. So when I look for it, I look for him. He was playing in Newcastle, but unfortunately, it wasn't. We didn't watch games that back then for Newcastle. But we like the team and we love the team. But the games coverage shortage was a problem back then. But now after the takeover, all Saudi Arabia now 30 million they are support Newcastle, and you will find and see now 5 days or maybe today is the 6th. For me, I still believe it was yesterday. 6 days now, and all Saudi Arabia support Newcastle. All Twitter, as I'm living now in Twitter, all Twitter now starting become covering Newcastle teams news, opening. For me, I want to make Saudi Mags. Saudi Mags, I want to do a Saudi Mags association for the fans.
Fantastic stuff. It's great to hear the excitement is still, running through Saudi Arabia with this. And as you say, it's almost been a week now since the takeover went through, and just fantastic to see, such an outpouring of joy amongst Newcastle fans, but also amongst, as you say, fans now who will certainly turn their attention to supporting Newcastle. And it's been obvious. I've seen my social media increase over the last week, and a lot more people from Saudi have started to follow us. And I am looking forward to joining you, of course, on Thursday night. Now, Thursday night, as people know, we do a show on NUFC Matters with John Gibson and Supermac. We will still be doing that this Thursday, 6 till 7. But then we've got a very special show. We are joining Alwaleed on his show to discuss football in Newcastle and the takeover with Steve Hasty and with Supermac himself. So how do you feel about getting the legend Supermac on your show, Alwaleed?
Actually, I'm so buzzing and very thrilled. And yesterday, it happened that I meet His Excellency Ambassador of England, of United Kingdom, Mr. Neil Cormpton, and he will compliment on my show. And he know you, Steve. And when I say to him that I will do a show tomorrow with Malcolm McDonald, he was also surprised and happy, and he said I will try to tune on. And he said I remember he said he's such a legend. He also know you, Steve, and he said Steve Wraith, he's center. Steve Wraith should play center forward for Newcastle. And I said Steve Wraith, actually he's in friendly games with the club he play as a goalkeeper, and they call him Bartiz, and we laughed for this, and it was we watched Goal movie together. It was great times that we saw Alan Shearer in the movie. For me, I was planned to watch it, but I didn't dream that I will watch this movie. It was in my list, but I didn't have time or good time to watch it. I didn't believe that I watched the movie with His Excellency.
Fantastic stuff, Alwaleed. And I know you were a little bit concerned about potentially not having a great deal to say on this show, and it might be one of the shortest dream teams ever, but you've nearly done an hour. So well done, mate. I told you it would last. Great stuff. Where can people find your show, Alwaleed? Just anybody tuning in late or catching up on this, where can they find your show and your channel?
Actually, now I have many accounts in different apps, but I'm focusing now on Twitter with a new, unfortunately, with a new Twitter account. First one, LW Newcastle, got suspended. Until now, I'm trying to recover it, but it seemed not. Long story, I explained it before. But now is Alwaleed _ Saudi. This easier to find. It contained the link, YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, which covered the takeover from beginning until today, and we still continue, and it's getting much more subscriber, much followers, and really not taking this for granted. And please, I'm welcome to all question. I will answer it. I'm answer all question in DM as soon as I can. And I really, for any advice, I'm open for suggestion. I would take this chance to ask also. I want to say this to promote something about. I want to take my show to next level. So if anyone willing to join me, make partnership with me, because I'm trying to come to Newcastle very soon. I would like to have the atmosphere in the St. James Park. Share videos, share interview with me, and I will publish in Twitter with your account.
Great stuff. Well, anybody wants to do that, contact Alwaleed, Saudi _Saudi Twitter. Get in touch with him. He's a great lad. He's been a contributor on our show now for well over a year. He kept us informed on how things were going in Saudi as well with the takeover. So please give him a follow, and please give his YouTube channel a subscription. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, my friend. Well done. That is your dream team in the bag. Take care. See you tomorrow, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. How are you, lads?